Hey everyone, welcome to Car Review. Today we are doing a spoiler-filled review of Godzilla, King of the Monsters. So again, just another warning, this is a spoiler review. This is a video as if you have already seen the movie. We're going to talk about this movie in detail and in depth, so you have been warned. We're getting into it right now in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Alright, so Godzilla, King of the Monsters. If you go watch my non-spoilers review, I'm going to kind of repeat some of the similar pieces from that review where I talk about this movie being pure fun, and this movie was a lot of fun. And as I said in my non-spoilers review, the filmmakers were definitely on this movie, and they expect you to have that same mindset when you go see this movie. Okay, when you go into the theater, do a little and then just sit back and relax. And I'm not saying you should do drugs, but I am saying that you should have that mindset going in, because if you go in expecting to have a good time, not a great time, a good time, and just have a nice, fun experience at the theater, this movie's going to be up your alley completely. There are a lot of things I like about this movie. I love just the mindlessness of it. I love how they heard some complaints from the 2014 Godzilla and they acted upon them and they fixed them. You know, one of the biggest things from that movie was, oh, there's not enough Godzilla. We can only see him in the background or on TV screens, and who are these humans? Why are we following them? And for the most part, they rectify that because we see a lot of good Godzilla action. Again, I don't care about the human characters at all. I don't care if you got Millie Bobby Brown or Ken Watanabe. I want to see Godzilla fighting monsters, and we get a lot of that. There are a few moments though where they do cut from some action back to the human characters or just to other stuff that I was like, come on, like this is the middle of a fight here. I don't want to see, the government, launching missiles or whatever, and all that stuff. But I thought this movie was really cool. But man, did the filmmakers go overboard. I feel like they undercooked Godzilla in 2014, the movie. They undercooked the 2014 movie, and they overcooked this one, the 2019 one. Like, there's never been a happy medium, and I like Kong Skull Island quite a bit. I'd say that's probably the closest thing to a nice happy medium, with it being a little more overcooked, but still. But for Godzilla, I mean, they just throw everything they have at you. Or they said they had like 17 monsters, everything from Godzilla to a three-headed dragon to a moth to a pterodactyl to a woolly mammoth to a crab-looking thing. Like, this movie's insane, and they cover a lot of stuff in this one, and I'm excited. Like, this movie is not reinventing the wheel, and nor should it. I mean, it is a monster movie. This is like next to like the Western, this is like pure cinema. We go for Westerns, science fiction, and monster movies, and nowadays, we have dramas and coming of age, and that's good. I mean, that's great. We should have a lot of different kinds of movies. This is like pure cinema goodness, and is it the greatest thing? No. I don't care about the human characters, and the human characters in this movie don't serve anything. I like some of them. Like, I like Ice Cube's kid. I can't remember his name, but I thought he was all right. He was serviceable. I didn't give a crap about Millie Bobby Brown. I thought she was there just as a face, just as a name to attract people. She didn't do anything. God, I don't understand why in movies, when a prominent human figure, especially in like, Transformers or Pacific Rim or Godzilla movies, where, that mom, she's like the doctor that like makes that like machine that can like speak to the monsters, and they always focus on their freaking kids. They're like, I mean, this sounds like such a dick thing to say, but it's like the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one. Like again, you have literally this device that can move creatures. It goes towards that call, and the mom is like, I gotta go get my kid. You literally said in the movie, you're gonna release all these monsters to have them fight, to wipe out each other, and then they'll wipe out the human race to like an extent, not extinction level, but just like a genocide, and like that's gonna like keep the earth alive. And it's like when you're dealing with literally billions of lives, it's like I don't think your kid should be on the top of the priority list, and it's like, oh, okay, whatever. But like, oh, this movie, I feel like they took too much of a break between this and the 2014 one, because there's some stuff that they threw at you that I was like, I don't know what they're talking about. I don't care. Something about their son that died in the original one, like what was his name, like Alan or Anderson or whatever. Like I don't give a fuck. Like, and I know I don't normally swear in my reviews, but like this movie is such a fucking drug trip. Like I was sitting back, I was like, this makes just enough sense for me to just have a grin on my face the entire time. And I enjoyed it. It's pretty fucking crazy though. I mean, when that three-headed dragon, when Godzilla bites its fucking head off and it grows another one in like 5 minutes, I was like, okay, here we go. Time to relight, you know. I was like, I just had to sit back and eat the popcorn, drink my juice and whatever, you know, and like, but you know, oh my god, the first Godzilla, you had Bryan Cranston, you know, a big heavyweight in the entertainment industry with his work in plays and TV and movies, and they fucking killed him. They killed him right away, you know. And in this movie, they kill Ken Watanabe. He's like the one guy, the one human guy where I'm like, you know what? You are just good enough in this movie to keep around. I'm not saying like that like an acting level. He's top level shit. But like, I'm like, I like your character. I like what you do. I like why you're here. You should stay. And they fucking kill him. And they go all out. I mean, they literally have him vaporized underwater in like these Egyptian ruins and to fucking restart Godzilla. I'm just like, God. I'm like, why do they think of this stuff? And then the three-headed dragon, they're like, it's an alien. It fell from the stars. I'm like, okay. So I always kind of wondered how they explained that these monsters came to be. Like, are they dinosaurs evolved? Did they just rapidly come up over time? And they say that they had to do with radiation and the core of the earth, and now it's hollow, and they're able to chill out inside there, and that like makes them stronger and shit. But like, so they totally just acknowledge the presence of aliens and life outside of Earth, which I'm cool with and I'm not cool with, because this is gonna sound dumb, but I liked that little bit of groundedness that it had, a little bit of weight that it had, to where this is scientifically based, where the monsters had evolved over time, they went into hibernation, and now that woman said it, you know, the Earth has an infection. The humans are the infection. The monsters are the fever to wipe out the infection. That was that one nugget of scientific fact and research and tangibility. I was like, I get that. And then they're like, oh yeah, the three-headed dragon, no, it shouldn't be here. It fell from the sky. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, you lost that last little anchor you had for me, but whatever, you know, aliens are cool again. You know, and everything. And again, this movie is super fun, and I like a lot of things that they did with this. Again, don't worry about the humans. Please, the only humans I care about were from Kong Skull Island. Not because of the actors. Well, I mean, you had Tom Hiddleston, you had Samuel L. Jackson, you had Brie Larson. Kind of had like a little Marvel Trinity going on there. But like, I mean, they actually, in Kong, they actually serve a purpose. You know, like when Kong comes back to New York, he captures the woman, takes her up on the Empire State Building and all that stuff. So she actually is important, which makes, you know, people that are trying to get her back important as well. I don't give a fuck about these scientists. And you could say, well, they're important because they know how to move the creatures and they study this. And I was like, okay, sure. But for some reason, and I can't place why, I don't care about the characters in these new Godzilla remakes. I like the characters a lot in Kong, and I want to see them continue on. I want to see another Tom Hiddleston, Brie Larson led Kong movie. I think that would be dope. And speaking of Kong, we have Kong versus Godzilla coming out in, I think, 2020, 2021. How the fuck are you going to make that movie work? How are you going to make it last more than 10 minutes? Because in this one, Godzilla, he becomes so radioactive that his literal footsteps burn buildings. And this guy is just like on fire. And then he like does this whole pulse, like, you know, and he just shoots out pure radiation. Okay, so first, Godzilla, it was already incredibly stronger than Kong. Plus, he's like 3 times the size of Kong, and now he's like radioactive to the T. Like, you can't even get close to him. I don't know how you make this movie without putting Kong on steroids, which they're gonna do. That, or they're gonna just completely deplete Godzilla, which wouldn't make sense because they just made him this literal god in this one. So they're kind of in a corner. But again, that's the mindset that you need to have when watching these movies. I think they took 2014's Godzilla too seriously, and this one they're like, oh, you know what? All right, that's good. But I like 2014's Godzilla. I really do. I really enjoyed that movie, and I don't know if you can find a nice bridge between realism and just throwing everything out the window and seeing what pile it makes in the filmmaker's office. I don't know what that bridge is. I don't know if it is humans. I don't know if it is science, or if it is making one stronger than the other and having one to get the upper hand, or like them teaming up and fighting together. I don't know how this is going to work, but frankly, again, I don't really care. I like the trip that these movies are on, because 2014's Godzilla came out and it was like a surprise hit. It made a good chunk of change. People were like, for the most part, they were like, well, it was all right. But they were interested in the concept. They liked the idea of this having a new monster cinematic universe, to where you would have Godzilla movies, Kong movies, and then whatever comes next. And now we're going to get Kong versus Godzilla in 2020. And it's going to be dope. What was I saying? What the fuck was I saying? I can't remember what I was saying. I lost my train of thought. But this movie just totally just... Oh, and I remember what I was saying. So Godzilla 2014 comes out, and they're like, okay, this is good. And then they started making Kong, Godzilla King of the Monsters, and Godzilla versus Kong. They started making those three movies, like, I think pretty much at the same time. So this is a huge trifecta of movies they're making, because they take years upon years upon years to make. Okay, so that they were working on all these at the same time, and they've already released like a promo art. I'm telling you, Kong versus Godzilla comes out in 2020 or 2021. So they have some serious storytelling that they have to do to either get Kong beefed up or Godzilla weakened for that movie. But they're making them all at the same time. So go see this movie, because it is just it serves as a pillar to this new idea that we're just gonna turn this. We're just gonna crank these out like you wouldn't believe, and I had a good time with it. I don't really mean to ramble, but like, this is such a crazy ass movie, and again, I really enjoyed it. And I remember I saw online that people were like, "Oh, stay after for the credits." This is mind blowing shit. And I was like, "All right, I'll be here for a little longer. I got a little left in the nub." And it's just those bad guys just picking up one of the heads in the 3-headed dragon, and I'm like, I don't care. We've already seen that. Are they gonna make another one? Are they gonna make a robotic one? Like, I don't know why that was such a big deal. I don't know the Godzilla lore, the mythos, or the canon. So I don't know where that could lead. But I'm really curious about Kong versus Godzilla now. I don't even know how they make that movie make sense. I don't even know how they make that movie at all. I physically don't know what to do with that movie. But I'm gonna watch it. I mean, oh my god, Godzilla versus Kong. I was there when they announced it. Now I've seen this. I know in the mindset that they're in now, where they're like, what if we make Godzilla radioactive and we had this bomb that eliminates oxygen? What if we have 17 different monsters all come and fight that shit out of each other, and then Godzilla, he reigns over and everything, and and what if we have like atmosphere-bound spacecraft, just these massive military expansions of these drones and these huge airships and all this stuff. And then what if we go into Egyptian ruins underwater? Now we have Ken Watanabe light off a nuclear explosion. Keep going, write that down, make that shit turn it out. Like, that's the mindset, and I like that mindset, because on paper that sounds too stupid to make. It really does. But I like the fun. I don't mean to knock on this movie. I'm just saying there's a lot of there's a lot of just like, I feel like the filmmakers really enjoyed themselves making this movie. Like the whole cast and crew, they knew what they were doing, and they're having a fun time doing it, and that shows. Like it really shows, and I really appreciate that, because they could have made this thing ultra super serious, almost had to be like a drama where it focuses entirely on humans, with Godzilla just kind of like a background character, kind of like a weight, you know, to carry this ship. And that was honestly kind of what the first one was in 2014. But they were like, no, people go to these movies to see the monsters, not the humans. And again, you could have no names in this movie for humans. I don't think it would matter at all. I hope this movie does well, because I want more. I want Godzilla versus King Kong, then I want a Godzilla 3, and then I want a Kong Skull Island 2. I want more. Keep making them. I will go. Okay? Keep giving the filmmakers all the drugs they want, and then when I go see this movie and pass out samples of the drugs that they had, so I can get back into the mindset that I was at the time of this recording, and I can completely enjoy myself, because this was a lot of fun. I saw this movie, again, at the time of this recording, I saw this movie after a bad day at work, and I was like, you know what, I just want to go enjoy myself. I want to treat myself. I want to go to the theater. I want to have a good time. This was a good time, and I really liked it a lot. I really did. I might even see it again. It was so much fun for me. It was such a good relaxer. What a good way to end my night, you know. And at the time of this recording, I also have to get up early for work, but I'm like, you know what, that's okay. It was a bad day, a good evening, you know. And that's what's important. That is why I love the movies so much. I go to escape. I go to forget about my troubles, to forget about my day, and to just focus on the screen. You know, to just focus on the story, to focus on this pure entertainment product, and that's what Godzilla King of the Monsters is. So I just think it's crazy. And yeah, this wasn't so much of a spoiler review as it was more of a just kind of a talk about the movie. You know, whatever. I like Mothra a lot. I thought she was such a bad bitch. You know, she was like ride or die with Godzilla. You know, like there you go. And everything. The pterodactyl fucker's still alive. That bitch should have died too. Mothra should have taken him out. Lickety fucking split. Yeah. I mean, this movie is good. It's crazy. Go see it. I'm looking forward to what the future has in store for these monster movies, for the Godzilla cinematic universe. And yeah, I love the ideas behind this. I love the thought process. I love how they have the fans in mind, because again, you know, in 2014 they were like, there's not enough Godzilla, there's too many humans, and I know nowadays people are like, there's too much Godzilla, not enough humans. Well, pick one. You can't have your excuse me, you can't have your cake and you can't eat it too. So pick one, and I think you should pick Godzilla, because that's where it's at. All right, you guys have a nice night. I'll talk to you later. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you like this one, comment, share, like, subscribe to all that good stuff. I'm super tired, but again, it was a good time. So thanks for watching. Go see Godzilla King of the Monsters, and I will see you in the next one. All right.